She made herself a little table back there.
Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the December 11th Benton City Council Workshop on the budget. Calling the meeting to order. Okay. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Wadsworth. Here. Councilman Sindretto.
Here.
Councilman Reed.
Here.
Councilwoman Alcazar. Here.
Okay. Everybody's present. So I'm going to ask Alan to lead us in the pledge. You haven't done it before. I want to sit.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so whoever is leading the workshop can take it away.
What, sure.
When we're ready for, well, this is the final,
Okay.
like everything balanced. Just looking to see where those cards are at. Is it open, a little bit more?
Why not?
Cost.
You know. Probably, but it's okay. She says, that was Margaret. She said she's waiting for the post to write in.
JB, Margaret's trying to,
I don't see her. You,
No.
you gotta minimize that screen. Or not minimize it, but optimize the options. Nope, she's not there.
Nope.
yeah, that's what she texted you, but I kept looking, it only showed one person, that's.
So you really, there you go.
I'll keep my ass.
It looked pretty good.
Parts in.
Find it true. Are we ready?
Any questions?
So can we touch base on the, how you guys kind of broke down the monies for the vehicles?
Well, we kind of just put it in there.
We have a lump sum. If you look on page 9, it's under the capital outlay. For trucks, there's
Okay.
$150,000 allocated in there for that. Jose was able to get the quotes for the 3/4 ton and then the 2 Mavericks, which came in at roughly 124,000 for all 3. I believe maintenance is also requesting an additional vehicle, which would be approximately another 36,000. This is all procured through the state. So we're getting the best price and the procurement has all been done. So we don't have to worry about going out and getting quotes and doing this and that. And basically, and we're having problems with Zoom because we switched stuff on it and that was silly apparently. But, I know Jose, I was talking to him today. He wants to be able to leave the big shop truck that
Has
has all the tools. He wants to leave it parked unless you're in town working, which makes sense, instead of it going home with somebody or whatnot. He would rather it just stay here in town, and they use it during the day when they're here. Which that makes sense.
Or whoever responded.
Exactly.
Come in and get it.
It's here if they need it.
So the 150 is at how many trucks? 3 you said?
That's 3. So that's with the 3/4 ton and the 2 Mavericks, and that's leaving you approximately $26,000 after the bids, in which I've provided you guys copies of the
Mhm.
quotes that he got or the bids that he got on it.
The Mavericks are critical because they're 4-wheel drive, they're in the state pool. They will come out of the state pool from the dealer that holds them for the state. We cannot order a 2-wheel drive until next year. So these are 4-wheel drives, base price starts at 27 out of the state pool, plus the light more kit and that they're gonna put on. They're the hybrids, gas electric.
Yeah, that's fine. I looked at those today. They look fine.
And it is my understanding from Jose that he would like to get another, at least a 1/2 ton. For maintenance.
Okay, well. I'll think about that right now, but
Thank you.
There you go, okay, awesome. Thank you.
And what's the time frame are we looking
For the
So-
Mavericks,
for all of the vehicles?
the Mavericks, I know they're on the lot right now. So they could go get them. I would say we can't get them till
Yeah,
after the
it's gonna be,
1st.
The 1 ton will be a factory order, probably 30 to 60 days. You know, 30 to 60 days. There is also not reflected in there, there's also an additional $300 discount per vehicle if they're paid for within 30 days. No, 20 days, excuse me. Paid within 20 days, there's an additional $300.
they're not giving you any whack on. Cost of that. As far as time frame,
On the one,
on the time frame, they're not giving you any kind of. Whack on. if you don't get it next day, it's gonna be delayed or?
All the Mavericks are for back order, you know, and so that, but the 1 ton, normally 30 to 60 days on a factory order.
Sure. But I'm talking about the Mavericks per se.
The Mavericks are pretty almost immediate.
They have them on the lot.
They have them on the lawn. They're in the
Understand that,
dealer
but if
pool.
they don't buy them right away.
Well, it sounds like there's already been an increase from the original estimate that Jose had gotten us at about 10,000.
That was a sleeper.
That was
That was a sweeper. It's not the vehicles. He
Okay.
just got these estimates on the vehicles today.
okay, just on the sweeper.
Mhm.
The Mavericks, are pulling up in the lot. If we had to order them, I don't know, because of the way Ford's back ordered on them.
I mean, I'm comfortable with it. I mean, I'm happy that we're able to find some money in the thing to kind of help them out with getting some newer vehicles. So. Awesome job.
I am curious, how can we take them home?
So if they get called out,
Could they-
yeah, it cuts down on time because they have to
Okay.
go through all the gates, get the vehicles, warm them up,
Okay.
get out. This way they're
Okay.
on it.
Are we all good with the vehicles, or Bill, you got some questions?
The only thing I'm seeing, the sales tax is 8.5 and not 8.7.
They're 8.5. On the tax.
When we
rate.
have to pay the tax on the licensing end of it, I think they're gonna charge us local.
Yeah, I think we're 8.7. Well, I think
Yeah.
they put 8.5 on there.
They did.
On the quote.
Other than that, the quotes look good. You know what, for initial purchase, I bet you.
What?
For initial purchase, I bet you they're gonna license them where they're at.
Yeah, they would deliver them, we would pick them up probably at a local Ford dealer.
Are we able to move on to the street sweeper?
What?
Were we out on that? I see that you guys have attached that information with us.
I attached it so you guys had it because I know you had asked for what we had. That was the last quote he had gotten. Although he had talked to them after that and they said, well, it's gone up 10,000. Which, you know, I agree with that, but that's okay. So that is the cost of what it would be to purchase a.
The 242,500.
Yeah, so it's basically 252.
Okay.
I do know that there's a USDA loan type thing we can get if we want to do that, which would be more of a low interest. We just haven't filled any of that paperwork out until we find out what, council wants to do.
What
as
direction?
far as- Yes.
Now, did we ever look into, I can't remember, was there any grant process or anything out there to help us?
We couldn't find
Couldn't find anything. Okay.
No.
One of the challenges we run into, Jessica, is our current non-metropolitan medium household income is right currently at the state level. And we have to be at a percentage rate less than that to qualify for grants.
Right.
And the same on some of the financing. Now, this is a really tough one, in my opinion. You know, do we wait and see what we can get, and then, you know, because we're gonna run into a major expense pumping out, you know, the drains on all the streets, you know, it's gonna take a fair amount of time, and probably, you know, I don't know where the savings would fall, whether to wait or whether to have the streets cleaned, and so we don't get the drains plugged with leaves and other debris, and then February and March, spend, you know, a few weeks with a pumper truck.
No, it was just an earlier discussion. I had asked if they had been able to look into any grant process out there That's all I was
Okay, Megan,
curious behind
yeah,
it.
Megan responded, she wasn't sure and really wanted to go ahead to know if. She wasn't comfortable applying for it yet, without a definite go ahead from us. She was gonna research it, but
That was for the street sweeper.
for the street sweeper.
She just for making all that paperwork. She's gonna probably help her
Oh.
to see that the guy in Union Gap is willing to help. Get it funded.
Yeah. Well, depending on what they want to do.
Yeah, I'll just send it to her.
I think it's still
Yeah.
important for us to look at the ability to get some decent equipment in here for the guys and gals to be able to perform their jobs to the best standard that they can, and us not leaning on other facilities or other cities to come do what our guys and gals can do here if we can get them the right equipment.
Right.
And this is long term. I mean, I think these things last for quite a few years. I mean, I think we would definitely make our money back, especially after this last hiccup we had with the last street sweepers charging us extra because we had extra leaves.
Is there a possibility that if we finance this, we could get a grant and refinance it, or you know?
I don't know.
If I was gonna do anything right now, I'd apply for a local loan. And then that'll allow us to finance it. Buy it outright through the state,
Mhm.
and the state's gonna loan us that at prime interest. That would be the way to go.
I don't know, I'm for whatever direction we can do to get the best price, interest rate wise, and to get them into something that's gonna help us keep our city clean. So. Yes, we'll see what the other council members are thinking, if this is a
I agree.
priority.
I'm all about being independent, not having to depend on companies that are gonna charge us by the leaf. And not tell us and make a contract and then go get back against that and.
Jose is on the line. Of course, the Benton City, that's Jose.
Okay,
Hi, Jose.
Hi.
Hello, good evening. Sorry I couldn't make it in person, having difficulties logging in, but thanks to JB, I was able to log in.
So you wanna put a line item for 250K in, is what you're saying?
it's a little bit more, right? You,
It was 252,000, and Jose, since you're online now. The street sweeper, you had so from your
242.
quote, it's
$10,000
like,
increase.
252,000 now, right?
Yeah, the quote is today.
Let me pull it up real
This
quick
is
on my end.
Hey.
Give me one quick second. I believe it is 252, but it's on the higher end of two different manufacturers that I'm working with. But that one is on the higher end. I
Cause
think
tax isn't involved in that, is it? Tax? You see it on there?
It's there now.
I don't.
What is the 8? To the city?
Yeah.
I don't think tax is included.
So I think we need to figure out overall price, tax included. And I'm not good at math when it comes down to adding bills on it.
Also, and maybe I didn't see it, is there an expenditure line item for the train bridge appropriation?
Yeah, the train bridge, yeah.
I see the revenue, but is there an expenditure?
We have not put an expenditure in there yet because nothing's been, accepted yet.
Oh, we haven't even accepted the funding.
No, we haven't.
Okay.
And they're still negotiating on, as far as I know, still negotiating on the price of the train bridge. So we have not put a price in.
Okay. We probably should put a line item in there for an expenditure,
Um,
because if we don't, then we'll have to do a budget amendment.
mhm.
Um. How long's that federal appropriation good for?
I think Alan can speak to that. I thought we needed to do something pretty soon.
So on the HUD grant, it is actually good until, see, in years 2033, I believe, 2032, you have to spend the money. There is no actual deadline for accepting it. But they were really trying to get, some definite answers by the end of this year. But if, for whatever reason, if we tell them we want a little more time with the bridge, trying to get the price of the bridge determined, I don't think they would have an issue as long as we show them that. We can show them that we've been doing the NEPA process. So we are moving forward with investigating the bridge. It's just, at this point, we haven't accepted the grant.
And I don't think we, to my knowledge, we haven't been negotiating the price other than what I did last summer.
Correct. Correct.
So, yeah.
Because there was direction given to have Eric work on the negotiations. And so what day is today? Monday. So I think Wednesday, we're sitting down and having a meeting to kind of go through the whole process, where we've been and where we're at with Eric. So he's got an idea of what's been happening, get up to speed, and then contact the railroad.
Okay, well, our goal still is to not have to do a budget amendment after.
Right,
it's been
right.
approved.
Yeah.
So, I would put an expenditure account for the 1.6 on the other side of that. Just so that it get a balance set on that. 250K for a street sweeper.
Probably gonna be a little bit more than that, David, with interest and stuff, so.
22,000 for sales
Thank you.
tax,
2260.
22,185, and that was 255,000. He said the high end was 252, so I went up to 255.
Well, what do you want to put in?
And sales tax. 277.
Okay.
With sales tax.
Right.
That is my next question.
So Corlett, did Jose say if this was in stock, this particular street sweeper?
You'll need to ask
Jose,
him.
is that street sweeper in their inventory?
As far as I know, they have one in inventory and they have 3 or 4 set out for production for next summer or early spring, depending on how fast they get moving on them. But you know, it's might be already spoken for by somebody else. I don't know until I talk to them tomorrow, possibly.
That's fine. Is there anything else that we don't have an expenditure side for that I'm not seeing so far?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, let's start speaking to some of these others, Jose. A new tractor. What's the need for that?
Just the age of the current tractor, and it has, like, I want to say it's like 2,500 hours on it. I mean, it's been here since I've been here, close to 10 years. just looking to plan ahead on that one, even if we set some money aside to then purchase one in the near future. Even if we put some money aside and this one goes bad on us, we could rent one for, taking care of brush hogging, taking care of some of the alleyways, taking care of some of our well areas. And so that's the main purpose of the tractor. And then during spraying season, we use it for spraying weeds throughout the year. Mainly brush hogging and spraying weeds. That's what we use that tractor for. But it's just starting to show its age.
What?
2,500 hours is not a lot of hours on an ag tractor.
I would like to throw out there too is we only have low and high on that tractor, and medium we can't engage it into medium on the transmission on that.
What year is that tractor? Do you know?
I do not know off the top of my head. I do not know.
And is that shifting into medium? Is that a maintenance issue or is the tractor just doesn't have an end on it?
I think it's just wear and tear, and it doesn't want to engage at all. I don't think it's a maintenance issue. It might be.
When I say maintenance issue, is that something that can be
Fixed.
looked at and fixed by a dealer?
We took it into at a dealer, and they said that it's pretty much just run into the wheels fall off is what we got told. But for lack of better words, they just said that we're pretty much looking into a full replacement on that transmission.
Anybody?
Jose, if we had an issue, I know New Holland and Case and John Deere also rent tractors this summer for not a whole lot of expense. Would that be an option for a tractor for your spray needs and that?
Absolutely. I mean, I think we could keep the existing tractor going as long as we can, and then like I said, if we could put some money aside, that would be awesome. If push comes to shove and the tractor is not operable, then I guess we would just move on to renting one as needed. It wouldn't be, and just to give everybody perspective, brush hogging probably takes a good 3 days of brush hogging throughout town. And then spraying weeds is just at the beginning of the season, it's probably a solid 2 weeks of using that tractor, and then after it's just spot spraying. So we also use it to clean some of our parking lots during the winter season. We clean the parking ride next to the vet clinic. We clean the 14th Street parking lot for the bike path. We use it to clean the bike path itself as well. So we use it quite a bit.
So you'd say like on a weekly basis, how often do you use it?
Right now that we're in the winter season,
Well, I meant like more towards our peak seasons.
it's probably getting used at least once or twice a week. Probably more like once or twice, yeah.
And this is the one that you use down like the boat launch to clean up that uneven ground that we cleaned up for the park?
Yes, that's exactly the one we use for down there. And we use it as best we can with all the, holes and stuff that are down there. That everything else has to get weed whacked because of the terrain.
Right. Now, when you guys took that in, did you guys get an estimate and trade-in value?
That was before me. That was back when Kyle was here. I just remember hearing from him that, it was pretty much exceeded the cost of, what he was looking into was just buying a new one. And he created a big bid package for that. And then I'm not too sure, it just never, money was allocated for it, but the purchase was never made. And then with all the turnaround, it just got lost in that.
And you're saying with the newer one, it would come with more attachments and things like that, so you guys could be able to do other areas besides what you guys are able to do with the old one?
Absolutely. And to begin with, we could even use the implements we already have for the existing tractor. And then later on, add more attachments if we needed to.
Well, I guess I would be interested to see if the old tractor's worth anything, if there's a trade-in value for it. If so, then be able to kind of look at that, if even if it's just $10,000 or something that might be beneficial looking at a new one.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's also up to the rest of the council. I mean, I think it's important that, like I said, I mean, we have a lot more parks that we're asking them to maintain and take care of. There's other areas as we grow as a community that I think it's important we give them the right equipment to be able to perform their jobs. And I think having a proper tractor that has the right attachments and can run properly is beneficial. So I am open to entertain what the other council members think about looking at maybe some ideas for a new tractor, maybe with a trade-in value of our old one. Thank you, David.
I think that also compare it with what it would cost to rent another one if we had to.
And that was my biggest concern, because when you start renting them, you're talking massive amounts of money. If they're having to rent it twice a week, all summer long.
They do summer rentals over a summer. And it's very common because they generate a used fleet of tractors with it. And the implement manufacturers incentivize the renting programs. You see most of the hay growers running their raking tractors. Those are all rental tractors. A lot of the orchards use rental tractors that they rent through the summer.
But if we're gonna use it through the winter, through the summer,
Yeah.
as
and the other
multi,
advantage, I don't know, I don't have all the answers. I want to look at the tractor. All the implements are going to be 3-point implements. So implements go across the board in tractors as a rule of thumb, unless you're putting attachments on the front of them. But it's something, I don't know. I absolutely don't know without looking at what they have and the horsepower rating they need. I don't know what horsepower rating they're after or any of that.
I think this is just to come up with an idea about
We need to put.
finances, right?
We need to put something together that's concrete that says, hey, this is what these are the options. These are what the options are gonna cost us.
Well, and I think that's something that Jose, you can probably look into and see what would work best for you guys. As the city workers and what you guys would have to use either through the winter and also through the summer to make sure everything stays up to par. I think renting, my personal opinion, I don't think we get anything out of it. It's throwing money towards something that we will never own. And I always find it something beneficial if it's something that we're gonna use year round and it's gonna contribute to multiple different tasks
Right.
in our community.
I agree.
I understand if we get in a pinch and something does break and we're in a dire emergency, then we might have to go out and rent something, but
So 2 things here on the rental side of tractors. There's 2 different ways that they rent them out. They rent them out daily rate, and then they have what's called an hourly rate. So basically you get charged a flat rate, like $1,000 for the 1 month that it's sitting on your lot. And then they charge you X amount per hour on the hour meter that it's used. I'm sitting here looking at a brand new, identical across the board to what we have, just brand new, just under 160,000.
So
across the board, same specs,
over,
basic specs.
over. So
Jose, is that something that you can take a look into? Cause right now you have new tractor for 50K.
Yeah, I could definitely take a look into that. And like I said, Kyle put up a good bid package and I have it. I just found it the other day, so I'll take a look at that and see the ins and outs of that bid package you put together for that tractor. And then, I could look for comps on how much of a trade-in value we could get for our current tractor and see if it would be worth, trading it in for a new one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm doing nothing this year or? You want to throw contingency fund in? What are we doing?
I think that might be beneficial. So if we're not up, if something does happen to the old tractor, at least we have something in place to at least get us going in the right direction.
Right.
And what's the dollar figure?
I'm comfortable sticking with his 50K. I think that's a great point to kind of meet at, even if, you know, we have to look at something that maybe is used a little bit versus brand new. I don't know.
I'm okay with that. Everybody else? Okay.
Oh, yeah, good with that.
So we're gonna add a line item for that, under expenditure. Next thing on your list is a salt shed. For 30K, do you think you can build it for 30K?
I think we'll be pretty close to that dollar range because we had purchased a whole bunch of ecology blocks and we basically made 4 bays. So we used a couple of the other bays for like rock and 5/8 finest rock and river rock and stuff like that. So we had set aside 1 bay so that way eventually we could build a salt shed to store salt for the winter time. And it's not, it wouldn't be a really big salt shed. It just be able to, store a little bit more than what we have. So right now, we have a lean-to next to the shop that currently holds about like 4 loads in there of salt, dump truck loads of salt. So in a really bad winter condition, we probably burn through that fairly quickly. But I mean, we've been doing just fine with the space that we have now. But we have to go to Prosser at the end of the day to go get more salt to be ready for the next day if it snows again. Or we're basically going around the park to Prosser and back, buying salt from them. So a little bit more storage would be nice. And I do think that we would be pretty close to that 30K price range.
All right. If he understood that, we're storing the salt in the shed next to a lot of other equipment in an open bay. The corrosion of it influences the salt, influences other stuff, also is detrimental to the building. And what Jose is saying, he will build one, doing the walls with ecology blocks,
Right.
and put one of those little like portable storage roofs for, little garages over the top of it to isolate it.
Yep. It's just like what DOT uses. I would just be curious about a little bit more accurate price range. Jose, you said you're not 100% sure if it's 30K. I'm not sure if you're able to maybe get an estimate of what we're exactly kind of looking at.
Okay. I could do that.
And then
Yeah, that's already done.
Yeah.
There's a request to save for a vac truck. I don't know if we want to worry about that this year.
I think if we can look at the loan options, like we had discussed a little bit earlier, and seeing if we can get a really good interest rate. Fingers crossed that the interest rates are really low on these things. I mean, I think, what, that's
Well-
positive attitude right there.
Well, everybody keeps pushing away the local loan program.
Or that local loan whatever it
That
may
through the
be.
state of Washington is one of our best options. They loan at prime interest. So that's the best rate you're gonna find.
I think that's the avenue we need to look at then.
So, but I don't know that it needs to be budgeted this year, in my opinion. But I don't know how the rest of the council feels. Cause there's other things in the background that we gotta worry about.
Yeah.
Anything?
I could probably jump in here too, is, so our current Vector truck, I think it's a 1989, 1990 Vector truck, 2100 series. Pretty much, I mean, that truck was, in pretty bad shape when we got it originally. Pretty much every time we take it out, we're spending a couple $100, if not more, to make repairs. So the reason why I put that on there to save for one is because, it's just hard to tell on my end how long this truck will last. We do our regular maintenance on all the
Thank you.
rigs, but
That's very good.
Go ahead,
um,
Jose, sorry.
So it's just hard. I mean, pretty much you fix one leak and then another leak happens, and then it's just a domino effect. Just putting band-aids on this truck. So at least if we're actively saving, to then maybe pursue a loan option or maybe pursue something, and we had a little skin in the game by saving some money for it, that would be awesome.
Is there any way that we can put some money aside for the vac truck in the future?
We've put 10 aside for it, I thought, last year.
Is there a way that we can continue to contribute to that fund?
Let's see, why not?
We can, I would just,
Not a whole lot, but something to at least get the thing rolling a little bit. Cause I know we've got, like you said, other things that are on the table.
well. Vac truck's gonna run you probably
A lot,
600,
yes.
especially if you're going for a new one. That's why we originally purchased the old one anyway, because we had that. Well, what was the previous truck to the vac truck that we have? It was
It was just a jet truck, so we
Yeah.
weren't able to vacuum anything.
right,
So, now with the vac truck that we have now, we're able to vacuum out the liquid storm drains. We could even dig up meter boxes with that thing. So it's an essential piece of equipment for me and stuff that's needed.
yeah, if you wanna put another 10,000 in there this year and bring it up to 20, that's fine, but I really don't wanna put a lot of money towards it.
No, and I agree. I think if we're focusing on some of these other things, Jose, I think by maybe doing a little bit, it won't get us any closer, but at least it's a start. You have a very big Christmas list.
He does. There's also a mower on here for 20K.
So your tractor versus mower, what's your opinion on those?
a tractor.
Okay. So we'll stick with the tractor for now.
You make that mower last year.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
we'll push through another year. And I don't know if Georgia's there, but I know we did get some money from River North in lieu of a park. So I don't know how that got put into the budget, but I don't know if there's some money available there still for that.
Yeah, we need to look at that, make sure we're allocating some of that. Next is solar panels. He wants a pallet of solar panels. Got 12 broken, I assume, in the last year, or are they still broken?
He's. They bought, I know they bought a few more panels. I don't know how many he's purchased.
So I could touch on that too. There's pretty much like it comes down to having like at least a couple broken a month. Just kids going down to go fish down by the river, and we had a like half a pallet that we got originally when we got the solar panel system, and we pretty much burned through those. And I think that's why Wade asked for a request on solar panels.
And I only see this problem getting worse as we develop, because this is down by the, yep. I
I
think-
I don't necessarily see it getting worse. As soon as they break so many, they probably give up. Loses its appeal. Yeah, budget that in as well, 4,000.
Jenny, there's something going on with our Zoom.
Bill, is our current tractor a DEF tractor or not, or do you know?
I think our tractor's fairly old, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not,
On death.
that is, you know,
You still there, Jose?
Yeah, sorry.
the ag world, everybody wants non-DEF tractors.
I didn't catch the question. What was that?
I was just making sure you're still there. We had some problem with the Zoom.
No, I'm still here.
Pump truck new blower. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, so we have a pumper truck that we use for the waste treatment plant. The blower motor on that truck is starting to show its age. So it's starting to wear out, and the vacuum on it is not as good as it used to be. Me, Wade, and Sergio, we did pretty much a rebuild on that motor, and it's held up, and it's starting to show the same symptoms and signs that it did when we did that. And so we're just thinking it's just time to just get a new blower motor for that truck. I believe Wade put that on his budget request.
I'm reading off a list, so
Oh, okay.
I would just as soon wait until next year if we can.
You feel like that's something that we can wait till next year, Jose?
Yeah.
I have a question, Jose, on that quote on the sweeper truck is dated the 8th, and they put it down the bottom of it, it's good for only 10 days. Question, are they extending that, or what are they doing on that
That's why
10-day
the-
window?
That's why there's that $10,000 increase on it that he suggested earlier, is because when he went back, there was a 10,000 increase. That's why we bumped it to 277.
Yeah.
What's your next line on it? What's your other item on there?
Bills for wastewater treatment, I would assume he has a line item for that, does he not?
I would assume so. I don't know what tools we're offering.
It says tool for wastewater treatment plant, $500.
I mean, that's kind of a broad, but he would have a in his budget for things like that anyway.
Well, that would be my assumption.
It would be equipment, or operating supplies, I mean, we've got 25,000 for operating supplies for the system.
Is that what it would come out of?
Repair, maintenance supplies, 10,000. I mean, it would, I mean, there's a couple different buckets
Areas
you
that he
can pull out of.
Okay,
If it's only that much,
That's all it is. So
Okay.
I don't know why that's even on there.
what's,
We already budgeted water tower repair.
Yep.
And there's an expenditure in there with lift station 5 or no?
there, I think we addressed that.
I was gonna say, I thought we talked about,
No,
no.
so I
not
don't
five.
have that in front of me, so the tower repair,
Yeah.
you got that,
I
100,000,
We
yeah,
made
so
that one.
that's in the budget. And then what's the other?
There's lift station 5, 400, 500K plan to replace.
Yes, that is funded by ARPA,
Okay,
and that's,
but we got the expenditure of the ARPA funds for that line item.
No.
Cause all those ARPA things should have a opposite, a negative fund. And that's that list. What else have we got? We did that. I think we did that. That's all good. That's what I have on my little dig through things for capitals. It's gonna put. It's back in a more normal looking budget. Because we'll have those expenditures showing.
Okay.
Whether or not we can get to them or not in the year, that's the question. There's a lot of stuff to do.
Do you feel like we touched on everything, or do you feel like there's things that we could be missing? Anybody?
I think we
Bill, you're
touched on
so quiet
everything.
tonight.
Alan, have we covered yours?
you?
well, I think,
Yes.
yeah, there's the ARPA funds that we'll work with Sherry and put in there.
Okay.
Jose, is there anything else that we missed that was on your wish list?
Don't give him a rope.
Smart tree, pear tree.
I
I was
got a
gonna say,
couple-
this is pretty extensive.
Kidding. What did I miss before I logged on to the Zoom? meeting?
Nothing, you missed nothing.
Nothing. I did explain to them that you're requesting
The trucks.
additional funds to get another shop truck or another F-150, whatever, and they have taken that under advisement.
Okay,
Okay,
I have nothing else.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You write down all those numbers I gave you?
Yeah.
sure did.
What do we got for a total?
Oof, we don't wanna know.
Well, I want to try to get a good visual of
You have 276,000.
revenues versus expenditures here.
The tractor they have now is a deaf tractor, and I think, or a non-deaf tractor. And knowing the feelings of people running tractors, and maybe, you know, I'll take a look at it, but. Like, the growers will pay a lot of money for non-deaf tractors nowadays.
Well, that's the only way to go.
You can
What?
get them deleted.
It's the only way to
You
go.
can get them deleted.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No different than the Duramax trucks. You just get them deleted. Go right around it.
341,000 extra.
341.
Plus the 1.6,
Plus, yeah, the 1.6.
so roughly 2 million.
How does that make you feel, David?
Doesn't make me feel bad. Cause that looks more like how the budget should lay
Yeah.
out.
Keeping it on me this time.
That's a good idea.
Keeping my purse on me this time.
Cause I had to turn around and come back last time.
I know, I owe her. Just one favor.
Well, you were the one that got locked out of your stuff. Oh,
I didn't throw you under the bus. I wanted.
I throw myself under the bus when I do stupid things.
I said no names.
anybody got anything else?
No, I want to say thank you for all the time and effort that you guys have put into this. This has been an ongoing thing that you guys have just plowed through, and from what I can see with the number crunching, which I'm not a number cruncher, this looks good. And so I appreciate all the hard work that you guys have dove into and to make this happen for us.
Okay.
And now it's the awkward silence.
On the silence, good news, we made it through the audit and we didn't take a huge.
Seen that,
beating on it.
yeah.
So,
Not a huge one.
no, well, I didn't take a beating at all. I just had to do the work. It's okay.
Just a little bit.
Turned out really good.
It turned out.
Good.
You guys
It's all
spent
right.
a lot of work to.
Sorry, I missed that
Set
this
up.
morning.
No
Thank you.
fines, no nothing, just paying
All right.
for whatever they send the bill for. Maybe they're not gonna send us one.
All right.
Raymond.
Nice try.
It's the state.
So as we're moving into 2024, before we finish this up. Mayor-elect, was there anything you wanted added in this thing?
No, I just, I've been blown away by their work on this budget. It has just been surprised their eyes are not going like a top.
Okay. Then on that note, bring that back to the council for approval next meeting.
Next week.
We are doing 2 readings on it, so.
Perfect.
All right.
If I need anything else,
Yep.
give you a call.
All right.
Motion to adjourn?
Oh,
Oh,
I
wait.
have one little thing I would like to
Helen,
mention.
you're not retiring, right?
No,
Oh,
well.
Kinda.
oh, no.
No, so we have been approached by a company to merge with them. And as January, Nathan, Steve and myself will be working with Akana. And there is a provision in our agreement that we can transfer that work over to Akana. And we will be working out of their Pasco office. And so we'd like to continue working with you guys. And so you would be working with us directly, Nathan and myself and Steve. And but with Akana, we'll have backing of a lot more personnel because they have architecture, electrical engineering, environmental. I know there's a couple other things I'm missing, but so we want to bring that up to you and let you guys know. And talking with the attorneys, we could have everything ready for the January 2nd meeting. if you guys so wish to.
We're
I
having a
would love to
meeting
hear it.
January 2nd.
What's that?
Wait,
It's scheduled.
That's what it is. You can always change it, in which you'll need to change it next week.
No, that's fine.
Is, is it Icona?
Akana. They're out of Portland.
Do they
Yeah.
have hydraulics? Do they have hydraulic engineers?
I believe so in their civil engineering department. They do, yeah.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and
We're at in Pasco's the office.
it's White Shield. White Shield merged with them this summer. And that's kind of how we were working with White Shield on a project, and that's kind of how we got considered for it.
so is Spank Engineering gone?
So Spink Engineering, well, there's some projects that we would finish out
Right.
because they're pretty small and we'd finish those out. The larger ones, we would just transfer over.
Well, I'm very excited for you, Alan.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
That's it. Yep.
I think the mayor was asking, or
Oh.
future mayor was asking the location.
Location, yeah, it's on, near the corner of Sylvester and 20th in Pasco.
Oh,
Okay.
I know where that is.
Yeah.
There's eagles down there dancing.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check it out on my lunch hour.
Well, if there's video, I want to see it.
Yeah, no, don't worry.
So,
Yeah, I'd bring it to us.
Okay,
Absolutely.
all right.
on that note, I'll motion the adjournment.
So moved.
All in favor?
Sandra, do I?
Walter with I.
Very nice.
Alcazar, aye.
Okay, sounds like motion